Hey everyone, this is Brandon Crowell back again with another speech. So my informative speech here is about vacant buildings have no purpose. So my topic again is abandoned vacant buildings not only hurt the environment, but they negatively affect society and its surroundings. So first off, I wanted to start by branching out and informing everyone what I actually mean by abandoned buildings. It's a term you hear a lot, but technically there's a lot of rules and laws behind what an actual abandoned building is. Excuse me now. Physically, it's unoccupied, beyond repair, boarded up, strewn with trash, and or scrawled with graffiti. Of course, the roofs can be broken in, the walls can be torn down, and windows busted. But abandoned really means that the owner or the legal owner of it signed their rights over, or they passed away. And it's really hard for, I guess, government and the city government to make an arrangement to tear it down based off of legal rights because they're not completely sure the process of signing those rights over isn't always very fluent. With that being said, which is why there's a large encumberment of abandoned buildings in just cities alone. Now, this is a list of effects of abandoned buildings on the environment. Now, with abandoned buildings around surrounding a radius of like 400 to 500 feet, it can increase the number of abandoned vehicles, increase the possibility of arson, drive-by shootings, list goes on. Just the main idea here is that being an abandoned building, living around it, it changes your mentality, your day-to-day life and thoughts and opinions of this neighborhood or just a street alone. Compare a gated community to a street of nothing but abandoned buildings. The vibe and the aura you get from it is completely different. And the idea that comes to your mind usually, or at least me personally, is that this area isn't really cared for by the government, and whomever lives around it, they feel like there's no repercussions for their actions, which is why there's a lot of drug dealing and gang activity within abandoned buildings, and a lot of illicit sexual activity in public because people believe they can get away with it, and they do because it's abandoned and no one really goes there and checks them out. Now, here's a few arguments and solutions I came up with. Due to my studies, I saw that not only abandoned buildings hurt are visually unappealing, but they can actually affect our day-to-day public health. So, given that, the way it affects our public health is given that feces just being dispersing particles in the air, illegal dumping of materials, asbestos, we've all heard of most likely, hazardous waste discharge, and even the influx of mice, rats, stray animals, and even mosquitoes that carry diseases. All these things come around just because of abandoned buildings. Now, some ways to combat that and some solutions I believe would be instead of, trying to criminalize homeless people from trespassing on these vacant lots, we should actually use the lots to and rebuild them to shelter these homeless instead of just letting them sit there and being abandoned and doing nothing for society. We should rebuild them, give it give shelter to homeless or whomever is in need, give them somewhere to stay and off the streets, and or you know, we could use the funds to rebuild these buildings, tear them down, and rebuild new ones, replacing them with new businesses that will open up more job opportunities, which in effect would increase or decrease the poverty percentage of cities. So that was my speech. This is my work sites page, just a few websites I researched, which a lot of the information was intertwined. Most of it I found multiple sources, but here are just a couple, and thank you for listening.